traditional stuff, but
let's go, gentlemen.
gives him some stuff to work on, and he does nothing if not work. All right, here we go. Bo Nickal is in blue. Paul Craig is in black.
I think it's very important for Bo not to force any takedowns early. And you can see the difference in the size. Look at the size of Paul Craig compared to Bo Nickal. You can tell he's bigger.
Paul Craig in our fighter meeting said he was actually expected that Nickal wouldn't chase takedowns early in rounds, but maybe late to minimize any submission threat.
Paul Craig also told us he's eating meat for this camp. Said it's the first time in his UFC career that he's eating meat. So he feels a little better coming in here.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Early low kick from Bo Nickal.
What was he eating before?
Vegan.
Ooh, vegan. As a middleweight. But we have seen this. We have seen these prospects at times run into the old grizzled veteran and they get turned back. The special ones are the ones that get through these types of challenges.
Nickal mixing up his stance early on.
You got to think about the experience level of Paul Craig. Been in there against Ankalaev. Been in there against Jamal Hill. Ooh, nice inside low kick by Paul Craig. I mean, he's fought some of the very best in the light heavyweight division. World championship caliber fighter.
In terms of power, right? I think a lot of the betting line comes from what happened last time Paul Craig fought against Kyle, who is just tremendous, right? But that is not who Paul Craig is. If you're not one of the best, you're going to struggle with it.
Kick.com, download the new TV app to watch your favorite creators.
Paul Craig looks good. He looks good on the feet.
Paul's landed some really good kicks so far. He's lunging a little bit on his punches. He's got to slow everything down.
Yeah, Paul Craig has worked dutifully on his striking game.
But even this challenge tells you what the organization thinks of Bo Nickal, because this is a massive step up between Cody Brundage to Paul Craig.
Yeah, huge step up, and huge step up when you're thinking about a guy who's only had 6 professional fights.
Huge step up, and yet Bo minus 1,200 against Paul.
I think that is crazy.
That's a little crazy.
Yeah, I think that is crazy that you still this kid as a minus 1,200 favorite over a guy that beat Magomed Ankalaev and Jamal Hill.
And submitted them.
Yeah.
Not just beaten by close decision.
That's
finished.
Well, hit that live line, champ. Minus 620, a little bit better.
We're not allowed to anymore.
Well, I'll tell you what. One thing that Paul Craig keeps doing is he keeps checking that kick by Bo Nickal, and he keeps kicking Bo Nickal's arms.
Yep.
Those arms will go dead from that, and those checks are brutal. He's doing a fantastic job of stopping those low kicks with his shin and his knee.
Well, it makes that young wrestler not want to stop kicking.
Right.
Bo Nickal's not trained a lifetime in kicking into things like that. He didn't go to Thailand and get his shins conditioned.
Paul Craig starting to flap his gums a little bit.
Craig will need to be a little more active, though. Right now he's doing some good things, but he's doing good things defensively. He isn't throwing enough.
Bo did a good job there moving away from that kick. It's also the reach, too. Like, Paul Craig is a long, tall dude for 185 pounds. I mean, he's huge.
Oh. Good right hand connection by Paul Craig a moment ago. Under a minute now, round 1.
And this is a big step up from Cody Brundage.
Yes.
Bo's looking for that big overhand left.
If I'm Paul Craig, I'm just blasting right body kicks at Bo Nickal.
Right, let him take him on the arms.
Yep. And then he'll grab it. And if he grabs it, he'll take him down, and you'll welcome him into your world.
Well, through nearly around Paul Craig's assessment that Bo Nickal wouldn't be takedown heavy, proving accurate. Both men had their moments. over the first 5. I do find myself needing to read Paul Craig's lips at times.
I know he said he was having fun, but the rest of it was gibberish.
DC, you ever have as much fun as Paul Craig appears to be having right now?
He's having a really good time. Because honestly, he feels like, okay, I've been in here with really good guys. Maybe this doesn't feel as uncomfortable as some of those other situations. But he's still got to be very, very aware.
Tonight's social media posts are brought to you by Gladiator 2. Get your tickets now to the most anticipated movie event of the year, Ridley Scott's follow-up masterpiece, Gladiator 2, starring Paul Mescal, Pedro Pascal, and Denzel Washington. Only in theaters November 22nd.
Paul Craig is talking a lot of jazz here. He's talking to him, and Bo Nickal's probably having a hard time understanding him. It's also confusing.
Yeah, but honestly, that is not a bad thing if you're Paul Craig.
No.
Like, kind of try to mess with the kid's head. He's got 6 fights.
Right.
Hey, Dean Thomas, I can barely understand you, but what do you have?
I think Bo Nickal is looking for a big punch over the top, but he's having a hard time finding it because Paul Craig will not bite on those feints for the takedown. You're not going to get a guard puller to bite on a takedown feint. So I think he's got to do is a little bit more to get closer to Paul Craig if he wants to land that big overhand right.
And I'll tell you, those kicks to the arms are absolutely brutal. I mean, you don't even want to hold pads for those. They hurt your arms if a guy kicks pads. You're taking them raw on the forearm. Oh, Bo landed a good left hand there.
Well, it's because he's landed that straight left to the body. He's landed that straight left to the body 3 or 4 times, so now Craig's hands are starting to drop a little bit. That is a massive adjustment for a guy with 6 pro fights, because that comes with time. Learning how to do things that help your overall game.
Ooh, he landed that right hand over the top. Paul's doing a great job of checking those low kicks. Oh.
I gotta be honest, I'm very impressed though, because Nickal has not shot 1 takedown, and he doesn't seem like he's that worried or nervous to stand in front of a guy that has this much experience.
Oh, nicely done to the body by Nickal.
That's that one that'll get Paul Craig's hands down. Then he can go back to try to throw that big overhand left.
Another good kick to the body by Paul Craig.
Yeah, that's what DC was calling for earlier, that body kick to that side of Nickal.
And I don't know what's going on with our headphones, but it is loud right now.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of audience in our mics. I mean, you got to think of what those kicks do to your calf.
Yeah.
And think of how small your forearms are.
Drop down left hand gets through for Nickal, albeit partially.
If I'm Bo Nickal, I'm thinking about wrestling a little bit.
There he gets again, 2 forearms.
Near clash of heads there.
There's that check again.
Yeah, he's done a good job of checking kicks to this point. Bo keeps throwing those kicks though.
But difficult to score.
Very difficult. Both rounds, very, very close. Still a minute and a half left in this round.
This is now the longest fight of Bo Nickal's career. He has outlanded Paul Craig just slightly, 32-27.
Paul Craig was looking for a big elbow in there and just missed it. Good left hand.
Yep, nice counter by Craig and followed it up with another shot.
Another one to the arms.
Keep blasting those kicks. That's the one thing about kicking the arms. You can't get countered. Guy can defend it, but he's defending you and he's backing up. He's not countering and throwing anything back in your direction. Oh, nice.
Nice left hand by Bo.
Nickal's footwork and striking movement pretty impressive relative to his experience level.
Just his comfort level, standing in front of Paul Craig is very impressive. And the fact that he hasn't wrestled at all.
Area takedown attempt through 10 minutes.
I gotta call somebody, man.
So Bo Nickal, Joe came over to the broadcast booth, said 2-0 question mark. So
We really can't help you, brother.
Yeah, I would not count on that, you know?
It felt like he won the second round. First round, he could have won, but it was very close.
But we've seen some horrible judging before. There's a nice right hand over the top. I wouldn't count on it, you know? I don't know.
I mean, Bo's not even breathing heavy, though.
No, well, he's very competitive.
Yeah.
He's such a competitor.
Been competing at the highest levels his entire life. Made it all the way to #2 in the country on the international ladder.
Almost went for a takedown.
Saw that, right?
Yep.
That was his instinct told him to shoot, and he didn't do it.
That's very interesting that he decided not to do.
I can't imagine that he thinks the threat is that severe.
It is.
With Paul Craig.
But it is.
But if you're safe, right, you still take him down.
Yeah. But the thing is, the real problem is the triangle, the arm bar,
Yes.
the fact that he's so good off his back.
Yeah.
It's a dangerous guy to take down. And it's one of the reasons why he throws so many kicks. He's not worried about you taking
Grab
him down.
my leg, take me down.
He's inviting it, and he's got tremendous grip. He gets a hold of your wrists, and he throws those legs over the shoulders so quickly.
It's crazy to think, though, that Paul Craig in these last few fights would shoot and pull guard.
Yeah.
He was so desperate to get to the ground. But he must not feel the threat to strike him.
But if you can submit Ankalaev and Jamal Hill, you can kind of submit almost anybody.
Yes.
yeah, this dovetails with everything Paul Craig said in our fighter meeting. Let's check in on his coaches. Coaches Cam is brought to you by Cuervo Tequila. We'll see if we can understand the coaches. All right, 2.5 minutes now to decide it. Numbers exceedingly close. And wouldn't that be something if Bo Nickal went a full 15-minute fight without even a takedown attempt?
Yeah, pretty crazy. Oh!
That left hook hurt.
He heard him. He heard him.
That eye really just got compromised.
Good right hook.
Oh, that eye really bothering Paul Craig.
He got stung.
Yeah, I love Bo's patience. I mean, a lot of young fighters will go crazy trying to finish there. You get a guy hurt, but instead of trying to go crazy and maybe get caught with something, he took his time. And now Paul Craig has got a cut. He can start to really target that eye now. There it is. That little deep kick up the middle would really have played a good role in this fight for Paul Craig. If he was just jabbing at the belly of Bo Nickal. But I mean, outside of that big left hand, it's a very close round. 10 strikes landed to 8.
Yeah, but it's the significance of that left hand.
Yep.
Probably is winning him the round. There's a good shot to the body by Bo.
Craig really hasn't landed anything of consequence in round 3.
But barely anything in the whole fight, right?
Isn't this kind of a problem when you're such a prospect that you're learning on the job, but you're moving so quickly up the ladder?
Yeah. They're chanting overrated now.
That's a
New York crowd.
get everybody to agree to chant.
New York crowds, man.
Yeah.
Oh, looked like maybe something.
Check the kick. But Paul didn't do enough.
Oh, a buckling left hand late from Nickal. All right, here's Bruce Book.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for decision. All 3 judges score this contest 30-27 for the winner by unanimous decision and still undefeated by